This is the Nutribullet Pro 1000. It is a powerful 1000 watt blender that'll break up and blend up anything you shove into it. Hi, this is Anthony from Everything Practical, and today I'm going to be doing a review, how-to, kind of tips and tricks using this Nutribullet blender. Along the way, you'll see how this blender is working, some downfalls it might have, and at the end, we'll see what else is out there and if this is the right blender for you. Without wasting any time, let's get right on into it. So there are actually 6 different versions that I find of the Nutribullet. There is the normal Nutribullet, there is the Nutribullet Pro, there's the Nutribullet Pro 1000, which is the one I have. There's the Nutribullet Pro Plus. There's a larger blender, the Nutribullet RX. And there's another Nutribullet blender type that's the Nutribullet Select. Now these are all different in motor size and functions, but the Nutribullet range of the Nutribullet, Nutribullet Pro, Nutribullet Pro Plus 1000, and the Nutribullet Pro Plus are all very similar to this one, where it's just a cup and a blender. There aren't any other special features. However, on the new models, there is a button on the front that will do a pulse. Now, of all of these models, each model comes with different accessory packages. So you're gonna wanna have to search through the accessory package of which one you think best suits you. After using this for a little while, I think you only need the basic one, just the blender, the cup, a top, and that'll probably do it for you. But this one that I have is a 10-piece. Now Nutribullet is really tricky on this, and I think they gyp you a little bit because the 10-piece comes with the blender, a plastic mixing cup, a metal mixing cup, a top for both of those cups, a sip lid for both of those cups, the bottom base for the blender that does all of the blending, and that's 6. Now 7 and 8 are both of these rubber grips that you get on both of these cups, which I think is a bit silly to consider that as a extra accessory. Comes with a user manual, and the 10th piece, no idea. Now the usage of this blender is extremely straightforward. You would load up one of your 2 cups with whatever you want to blend, whether it be fruit or vegetables to make a smoothie, whether it be avocados or something else to make a sauce, or nuts or chocolate to grind up to use as in another type of recipe. You would fill up the cup, you take the blending bottom and you screw it on top, and then you take it, put it on top, you press down, turn it, and it'll turn on. Now, it's not turning on right now because I have it unplugged, but that's the basic function of this blender. Now starting with the basics, on the bottom of the blender, there are 4 rubber suction cup feet that will ensure that the blender doesn't fall over if it's on a smooth, flat surface. This can be wood, this can be granite, this could be marble, whatever kind of countertops you have at home. And you're gonna know why it's on there because this thing, when it gets going, really rumbles. One thing you should be cautious of while you're using this blender is if you need to blend for more than 1 minute, the operating instructions recommend that you turn it off for about 30 seconds to let the motor cool again before you start operating this again for a maximum of 1 minute. Now I've never needed to let this run more than 1 minute because everything I've done has been done within about 30 to 45 seconds of blending. Now the main working part of the blender besides the motor is this 6-blade cutter. This will make sure that your fruits and vegetables are ground up to a pulp. Now there's a sign on the back that says caution, sharp, but these blades are not sharp at all. They're actually dull, and it's done on purpose. If these blades were sharp, you would have to ensure that you are sharpening these on a regular basis. Because this blade is moving so quickly, if it were sharp, this would chip very, very easily or go dull very fast. So what they've done is they've actually rounded the ends of these, and that is not a problem at all because the speed of which this is turning is going to rip through anything you dump into these cups. I've been using this blender for almost a year now, and I haven't had any issues whatsoever with trying to grind up, pulp up, blend, pulverize, whatever I've put in here, and these blades are still like new. One thing you want to make sure that you never do with this blender is put this top inside of the blender without a cup on top. That is a recipe to lose a finger or half your hand, because if you try to pull this out and you engage the motor while this is in there, adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, your fingers. So never ever put this in without first putting it onto the cup. Side note, if you're really worried about my fingers, it is still unplugged. But speaking of the plug, you do get a 1 meter plug, which is right at 40 inches, which is probably more than enough cable because when you're going to be using this, it's probably going to be directly on your kitchen counter, right near a plug on the wall or next to the cabinet. So this length should be no problem. If you need more cable, grab an extension cord, you'll be good to go. So now I'm gonna go grab an extension cord and let's jump into some demonstration of blending up some fruits and pulverizing some vegetables. Now before we get into blending, let me just demonstrate how to start the blender. Normally you'll fill this up with fruits, vegetables, whatever you want. Put the top on, screw it clockwise. Make sure it's nice and tight. Hand tight is plenty tight. Now you'll line up the 3 teeth on the cup and there will be 3 teeth inside of the blender. You'll put it in, you'll push down, and the blender will start. Now what you want to do is actually put it down and turn it so it remains stuck in here. Now when you're done, all you need to do is untwist it and then allow the blade to stop. Now don't take it off too soon because you might grind the inside teeth on the bottom of this piece here with the slots inside of the blender down here. Now if for some reason you try to put this on and it's not going in, move the piece inside of the blender just a little bit so that it's able to align with these better. They should slide in and move this piece out of the way, but if it's not, then it's perfectly lined up and you just need to turn this just ever so slightly to get these teeth to go in. So the first demonstration I'm going to do is going to be a fruit smoothie. I have frozen mangoes, I have frozen strawberries, I have a ripe banana, and some apple juice. And now if you've never tried this combination before, I highly recommend it. It is delicious. Maybe a little high in sugar, but very delicious. Now we put the top on, screw it counterclockwise, and we put it in. Now you might have noticed before it gets pretty loud, so bear with me for a second while I blend this thing up. So now I've stopped it, and it stops pretty fast when there's liquid inside, and now it's safe to take off. Now if you take it off and you see that this looks a little bit thick for your liking, just add a little bit more liquid, throw it back in real fast and blend it right back up. But for me, in this demonstration, this will do. And you'll see that this smoothie is perfectly blended, a very nice thickness, and magically delicious. Now I blended that for 30 seconds. Now that I've completely emptied it into this cup and drank a little bit myself, I can tell you there are absolutely no chunks in there and perfectly blended to a pulp. Really, really amazing. Now since I'm going to be making another one, I can just tell you to clean this thing is super easy. It has a very wide mouth on the front of it. Rinsing it and getting a scrubber inside of this cup is very easy, so it's very nice to work with that. Additionally, cleaning the blade is also super easy, and because the blade isn't sharp, you don't have to worry about cutting your fingers or cutting a cloth or a scrub that you're using to clean this with. So I'm going to go clean this up real fast and be right back and do another demonstration of a different type of smoothie. Now the next smoothie I want to demonstrate is a vegetable smoothie, which consists of a handful of spinach. And don't take these recipes to heart because I'm just kind of winging it, but toss in some handful of spinach, a little bit more, some water with a little bit of milk inside. Didn't measure this out, so I hope this tastes all right. Half a banana, you can do a whole banana if you want, and a green apple. God, how do people do this? So, now that we have that in there, same as before, put the top on all the way, nice and tight, and drop it in. Push down, turn. So I let this one go for about the same time, 30 seconds as before. It looks very well blended, and we can have a look. Also looks very well blended and green. Now just have a look. Yep, looks good. And might as well have a sip. Spinach banana apple smoothie. There you go. So that's it for the demonstration, and as you can see, this blender works very, very well, very fast, very efficiently, just a little bit loud. So if you're going to be using this within a house full of people, you're surely going to wake somebody up. However, it's going to blend whatever you need to a crisp, whether it be a smoothie or a sauce or salsa. You can also throw some nuts in here to get ground up, and it's going to do a very good job. Now, depending on which model you go with, you're going to be able to find these either on the website from Nutribullet or on an Amazon site for about 50 bucks all the way up to $180. Now, if you find something more expensive than that, you're getting ripped off, and if you find something cheaper than that, get it, because it's a great deal. Again, the model that I have is the Nutribullet Pro 1000, which means it has a 1000 watt motor, so a 1 kilowatt motor to beat fruits and vegetables butts to the moon and back. And since I've had it, I've been very happy with it. It's motivated me to make more smoothies and live a little bit healthier diet. Now, this is one of my favorite products that I have at home, so I'm going to have to check the box as practical. I do recommend the Nutribullet, and in comparison to other blenders out there, I think it does an amazing job and very competitive for the price. Now, it is kind of a one-trick pony because it doesn't have variable speeds or pulse unless you get a model that can do pulse. But otherwise, you're just going to put this in, you're going to turn it on, you're going to let it run, and let it do its thing and blend everything up until it's pulverized. Now, if you want to go ahead and straight up purchase one of these, I will be leaving a link in the description below where you can also check the local price. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, stay practical, and I'll see you in the next one.